Hi, you guys. So, welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker. It is early. I still need caffeine. So, I just wanted to pop in here and do a face-to-face introduction for this video. The rest of this video is probably going to be me like showing you around different spots that I've got stuff. But what I've decided to do in my Taming the Stash project, goal number 1 is trying to sort through sections. So I'm going to take you through what I did, and I'm going to show you what I came up with and what we're going to start off with for like the big groups of things. So I did want to introduce this face-to-face, so you have some little face-to-face time, and on to the whole purpose of this video. Hopefully I will keep my mouth under check and you won't be here for 30 minutes. All right, guys. So if you did not see the original video about my stash goals, I will leave that in the description box down below, and hopefully remember to put an iCard somewhere up here. But this is the big yarn wall. And I shared with you guys that this was, I want everything either here, not here, not here, or here by the end of the year. So that means I need to make holes in this section. There's weird sounds coming from upstairs. Sorry. So what I did, first group out of the gate that I wanted to focus on was this section here, these two here, and I already had this one under control, but I wanted to see what was in here, here, and here. All right. This first group is my Vanna's Choice. That's not, that's something different. All of these were smushed up to where you could not see yarn. And you can tell we have some busted ball bands just from where things got overly squished up. And I think this is actually, yeah, this is actually a Mary Maxim. So we got to the point, like, I was able to put Mary Maxim in with this because we had a hole. So I took all of the leftovers out of the Vanna's Choice. I literally took everything out of a cube, went through it, put stuff back. Took everything out of the next cube, went through it, put stuff back. And I was growing a pile of stuff that were leftovers, you know, 1.5 skein leftovers, things that were kind of bought for donations but never really used before. Most of it was leftovers, to be honest. The Kelly green and the silver gray are leftovers, but I use those a lot. I don't know why the Kelly green is something I use so much, but I love the Kelly green. I love the color of it, and it pairs with so many different things. So I had a substantial amount of it, obviously. So I did keep that. And gray is just my favorite neutral. I use it to pair with things. So I was able to separate out. This was purchased to be a blanket project. I need a 4th color or 5th color, and I'm not quite sure what color I want to use. I have considered using the yellow or the bright pink. I just haven't picked what that color could be. Also, the purple would kind of pair with that for what I'm doing. But this was purchased for a blanket. I know exactly what that is. Now I can see that project, and it's all together visually in one spot. I have stuff for future projects, but I moved out so much stuff. Like I said, I had a hole here that I was able to put a bunch of Mary Maxim in. Now, most of these are too deep, but it's, you know, 2 greens straight back, 2 greens straight back, 2 corals straight back, not things tucked behind that don't front. The other thing I did was I took everything out from these two, and most of this was Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn. There were a couple other yarn bee things in here. And by the time I got done with what I pulled out, I had enough holes in here. I was able to put some of Erica's yarn in here. And I went through those bins. I'll show you what those totes look like now. But like I found this and Erica's stuff, this and Erica's stuff. I had one of these already. These are 1 deep back because these are much longer skeins. We do have like, that's like a yarn bee version of a Colorscape, I believe. And this was originally bought for a project that I'm no longer going to do. It was supposed to be a Star Wars blanket, and that was going to be the backer. But I now can see everything. Some of these smaller skeins are too deep here. Because I know I have 2 of these and 2 of the strawberry version of it. But I made enough holes in here going through this and pulling out half skeins, partial skeins, semi-used skeins, things I was, never going to use for another project, that I was able to put, like this is a AC Moore yarn. These are 2 different, not Hobby Lobby yarns. And I can now see everything. Nothing's really overflowing to the point I can't see it. I did start trying to go through some of these other ones and realized I was getting overwhelmed. But like I did more or less move like natural fibers or natural fiber blends, because these are woolies. This is alpaca blend. This is a Plymouth yarn that's kind of like woolies. This is a hand dye or hand spun that I did. This is a hand dyed from Erica. Touch of alpaca. That's what these are. So I was able to move like things that have a wool content or alpaca content over here together. Some are blends, some are wools, but I was able to kind of like move these more or less together. I still need to go through the basics at some point, but that's tomorrow's issue. That's not today's issue. I also was able to make enough holes that I was able to move some of the red hearts from Erica's stash into here. So, where does that leave the bins outside? So let's do our way through. Like I said, they're right out here in the hallway. So I went through these. If you remember, they were kind of all stacked up wonky. We now have 6 bins that are sorted and organized. You can say, like we have, I love this yarn here. We have a bunch of the Pound of Loves here, Pound of Love there. We have, this one has cottons and natural fiber content. These were some more bulky yarns. This is more acrylics and polyesters. So now everything is organized in the 6 bins. So as I make holes on the wall, I can take these and just plug these in to any large holes that I make. So I'm very excited about that. Up next is the mess that I made in here that should hopefully not take too long. So you can see I've got my Addie King set up here. I have my stack of stuff I need to steam block. But this is what I took out. So I wanted to go through that section specifically and pull out things that I can crank off on the Addie. This is my waste yarn weights. I use clips to hold things off the floor and my scissors. So I just got that nice and neat in a little bin. Some of this came from Erica's stash. Some of this came off the yarn wall. Under this pile o' mess is what we started with, though, which was the Vanna's Choice. See that under there. But, like, some of these are just, this was a partial that I don't have any more of this. This is the last of this color. I'm not even, I think this is a Karen 1 pound. I'm not sure where the Bernat satin came from. I haven't purchased any in a while, but I have been gifted some. But this seems to be the only skein this color I have. This is leftover from something I made. These came from Erica's stash. So we have a substantial amount in these 2 bins that my goal is to work through this in the month of February. So the whole purpose to this video was to share with you guys how I am breaking down my plans to tame the stash. And maybe I'll share like this. Maybe I can share in like monthly increments where I show you what I've pulled out, or as I use a group of stuff, I can come back and show you guys what progress I'm making and what I'm doing next. But I am very happy with this. This should take me the month of February to get through, just based on how busy this month is looking. And it is a short month. I mean, to be fair, it is a short month. So I also, you know, like, I'm not sure how, once again, some of these missed the purge of semi-skeins or half skeins, because this is a half skein from where I did a poncho a couple of years ago. I don't know how that missed that purge. Anyway, we'll be playing with a lot of different colors. We have a lot of different options as we're coming in here. There are lots of different things to play with. And we'll be able to get a nice mix, I think, of some more like boy thing, girl things for donations. They don't all have to be girl things, which is nice. So anyway, that's where we're starting off in the attempt to tame the stash. So I will continue to update. We can work through this together. If you guys have any thing you want to add, what you're doing in the process of taming your stash, what you set out for the month of February to kind of look at, leave it in the description box down below, or feel free to share in my Facebook group. You guys are an amazing, supportive community all together, and that's why, like, I feel comfortable sharing this with you guys. And I know many of you guys have been sharing your ideas and your hopes and your goals, and you have asked me to continue sharing this process because it's helping you guys to maybe think about how you want to do the same thing in your craft supplies. So that's what we're starting off with. My goal is to crank this. I'm not pulling anything for hand knitting right now, but we're going to crank this on the Addy. So I love you guys, and I will see y'all real soon.